Ever wondered how those silky, melt-in-your-mouth bars go from a humble cocoa bean to your favourite treat? Stick around, because we're about to uncover the fascinating, surprising, and sometimes messy journey of how chocolate is made. Trust me, you'll never look at your candy bar the same way again. Hit that subscribe button and let's get started.
Chocolate is scrumptious when it crunches. That's why I love Nestle Crunch.
So where does chocolate begin? Lush tropical rainforests in places like West Africa, South America, and Southeast Asia. This is where cocoa trees thrive. And let me tell you, these trees are the real MVPs. Did you know that about 70% of the world's cocoa comes from just 4 countries? Ivory Coast, Ghana, Indonesia, and Nigeria. The cocoa tree produces pods, big, colourful football-shaped pods that grow right on the trunk. Inside those pods, that's where the magic starts. Step 1 is harvesting, and it's no easy task. Farmers use machetes or long poles to carefully cut the pods without damaging the tree. Timing's everything here. Too early, and the beans inside aren't ready. Too late, and they might rot. Once the pods are collected, they're cracked open by hand to reveal, well, not chocolate yet. Inside, you've got cocoa beans surrounded by a sweet, white, pulpy stuff called mucilage. Fun fact, some farmers eat this pulp as a snack. It's tangy and tropical, kind of like lychee. Now those beans, still slimy and not very chocolatey, are scooped out and ready for the next step, fermentation. This is where things get wild. The beans, pulp and all, are piled into shallow heaps or wooden boxes, often covered with banana leaves. For about 2 to 7 days, they just sit there, fermenting. Microbes in the pulp go to work, breaking down sugars and creating heat. Temperatures can hit up to 120 degrees Fahrenheit. This process is crucial because it kills the bean, stops it from sprouting, and starts developing those rich, chocolatey flavours we know and love. Without fermentation, chocolate would taste flat and bitter. Who knew microbes were such chocolatiers? After fermentation, the beans are spread out to dry, usually under the hot sun. Farmers rake them regularly to ensure even drying, and this can take up to a week. At this point, the beans are starting to look more like what you'd expect, brown, hard, and ready to be shipped. But we're still a long way from a chocolate bar. These dried beans are packed into sacks and sent to factories, often halfway across the world. Fun fact, a single cocoa pod might produce enough beans for just 1 or 2 chocolate bars. Talk about a labour of love. Alright, now we're in the factory, where the real transformation happens. First up, the beans are cleaned to remove any dirt or debris. Then, they're roasted. And this is where the aroma of chocolate starts to come alive. Roasting can take anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes, at temperatures up to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. It's like toasting coffee beans. It brings out the flavour and makes the beans easier to crack open. Different roasts create different flavour profiles, so this is where chocolate makers get creative. Next, the roasted beans are cracked open in a process called winnowing. This separates the outer husk from the good stuff inside, called the nib. Those nibs, they're basically pure cocoa, and they're ground into a thick, oily paste called cocoa liquor. Don't let the name fool you. There's no alcohol here, just intense cocoa goodness. At this point, manufacturers can go one of 2 ways. They can press the liquor to separate it into cocoa butter and cocoa powder, or they can use the whole liquor to make chocolate. Now let's make some chocolate. The cocoa liquor is mixed with ingredients like sugar, milk powder for milk chocolate, and sometimes vanilla or lecithin for smoothness. This mixture is refined to make it super fine. Think particles smaller than 20 microns, so it feels silky on your tongue. Then comes conching, a fancy word for mixing and kneading the chocolate for hours, sometimes days. Conching aerates the chocolate, smooths out any gritty bits, and develops the final flavour. Some high-end chocolatiers conch for up to 72 hours. It's like a spa day for chocolate. We're almost there, but there's one more critical step: tempering. This is where the chocolate is carefully heated, cooled, and reheated to form stable cocoa butter crystals. Why? Because tempering gives chocolate that shiny finish and that satisfying snap when you break it. Without it, your chocolate might look dull, feel waxy, or develop white streaks called bloom. Tempering is an art form. Chocolatiers use precise temperatures, sometimes stirring by hand, to get it just right. Finally, the liquid chocolate is poured into molds to create bars, truffles, or whatever shape you can dream up. Once it cools and hardens, it's wrapped up and ready to hit the shelves. From bean to bar, this whole process can take weeks, involving farmers, factories, and some serious science. And yet, every bite feels like pure magic. So next time you unwrap a chocolate bar, think about the journey it took to get to you, from a tropical cocoa pod to a carefully crafted treat. Pretty incredible, right? If you loved this deep dive, give us a thumbs up. Share this video with your fellow chocolate lovers, and let us know in the comments, what's your favourite type of chocolate? Dark, milk, or maybe something fancy like sea salt caramel. And don't forget to subscribe to RealHow for more behind the scenes looks at how your favourite things are made. We've got plenty more coming your way. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode of RealHow. Until then, keep savouring the sweet stuff. Make sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to stay up to date with the latest RealHow videos.